Mule zo wa de la o mule mule mam de la o mule mule mam mule zo wa de la o mule mule mam mule zo wa de la o mule mule mam mule zo wa de la o mule mule mam mule zo wa de la o mule mule mam mule zo wa de la o mule mule mam mule de la o mule mule mam mule zo wa de la o mule mule mam mule zo wa de la o mule mule mam mule Tia da o muni muni ma muni zo wa de la o muni muni ma muni zo wa de la o muni muni ma muni de la o muni muni ma muni zo wa ge wa li yan yu lu la tu wa sang jian zhu ju lian zhu wa ni zo lang ge wo hai zo la 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 mi ji ben jian zhang jian ben mo la li le pong pa ge lian Zhuma yung la cha ze lo han zhen zhen ma pa ma zhuma lo han zhan ze lo zhang zhuan yan pa mo xian ni kong de lo lan da ma zi de si wu zhen ge za jia wa la ni chung ma chang za de ge da wa gen de ka wa jia ni zi xia ma ka ma dong le so nam jie rao du jie wei ra ba ma chang seng zhen jie jie pen mi chang nan ba 金波子的高头写吧，十八岁的去年嘛，上的些做的，大雁那把结巴结嘛，马六把了金波多边，就是小的嘛，上多少户一个的上来，记得现在的日本没有过半年嘛，上一届没有上吧，路上那时候光就是嘛，全部都来吃到那的那人。 像人家北京跑上出国的时候嘛，也是那的，没这把修的吧嘛，像多些什么，对于包括他们那时候嘛，春现状态在差不多什么的什么，像这个就是什么都那么些嘛，嘛就个见别让个有种走嘛，他那个。 不见就这么变嘛，西不人多少人对象往什么强势就上那，他们这个把你们年嘛，找你有很给碰到的中嘛，相对的物件见不到就，这不就没人到就怎么强化的没人不就那么也有个在不浪就嘛，啥子话下给等下等。 种子呀，香给人不得不能的给嘛，上次在嘛干嘛去嘛，两个就年嘛，双到当天边，对不说这年嘛，这个高人这人上干嘛有着，日本人说年嘛，上做像单位，红给那边稍微年嘛，人们在这边就说要年嘛，上了说南边了但。 当年白一的，都那么日本什么上兰说家伙，他那边去的嘛，快快节咱们我是我上一万节分钱不是我行家啥也是，相对说各位修多样的嘛，的是咱说那就多了，也在俺当地的查了你咋地，我们这嘛，他们这么老家在路上这样。 这个人这么就是学习，可就来就马上等到关头，好家这家嘛，我们到了说南京，肉都就了把嘛抢手这，本没想那么节嘛，这么是搞些吧，是不是10年嘛，抢到这些的时候都太那么就嘛，马里巴了这么多人就是些，想到多少红一根多少那个嘛，今天这么些那么关的嘛，差点嘛，那完就嘛。 的嘛，下来这白家把肉好家嘛，也是那的嘛，肉就把嘛下的。怎么三个家家什么都拿年嘛，嘛就我见别人我也种种嘛，下来个这边我就这边嘛，下来的那也这些往怎么强势用。 他这个不能年嘛，中年也红给碰南的中嘛，上天都恩典，见不到小爸妈这没轮到有，整个的没到不正的那么也叫我高于这不能中嘛，上次我下给等些的，中子也红给人不都那给嘛，上天我们些嘛，娘的这年嘛，所讲的这边都不说这年嘛，上个高点的那个嘛，一个人个别是帮了这年嘛，上这些。 不过他们说你嘛，什么的那毕竟就说要你嘛，啥来着那边来着那嘛，大爷，同那么的问什么上了算家务，他那边觉得嘛，可能个继续做什么上了节约钱吧，是吧？喊你啊，让一先说什么想的是， Shibudoyan Dema Dara Zona Jodara Nia Zangada Chalavan Zaji Wanjima Pumarumala Cha Chalo Jalanya Bama Jagoda Dema Jidu Kisajamalan Juma Chandan Dagan the Havaja Shama Commodore Sonam Rodo Bama Chanson Jay Benja Namaja Jibu Gojiva Soja Nima Chanda Tanamaja Jama Malibur Jima Tovi and Joseph Dema Chandora Hu Yegi Dejana Maja Dejan and the Lema Dema Chanjamas Lula and Jama Jora Nanda Dema Jaleja Baja Baro Jama Yegi and the Malo Jaba Majanda Jama Devana Shunyan Dan Zanza Toda Masama Chansakunsa Jaja Sumidona Yama Maja Gojima Ranga Rama Jara Gajiva Uja Bema Sharadar Vijava Zema Zazayan Zandawa Yama Tony Yongibon and Joma Shandit Yonasha Bama Raja Medan Dojivan Zama Sagada Meda Bhaja Nema Yavan Goya Jabulan Joma Shazan Waja Tension 中职业风格方面的干嘛上的希望年的是年嘛所有的人的就是说年嘛上个高高一的人那个嘛一样，如果能说年嘛上的像代表互动说年嘛让必须是说要年嘛上来说那边的。而且白应该同他们生活上的有他们现在嘛各个跟这些做嘛我生活上的因为全部生活环境啥也现在。 修罗样的摩多罗说的那就到了第二章啊，常在问你说这就是中间的嘛，都是见到当他也身见他们这这些讲解创业就都能作为商界都往这都说的嘛，都是自然工作要他当面的话说，他们这肩膀主管这把老把这对给人当那老说对面这往就往那说的没两个的什么俺把说这把也说你把。 有多些人没往这多少几天连年的话也这些的来配送说话那配件也别天那马六话别没邻居主把这多少主老这些都是到多就落下说头发到多年的多长三年不止养元大大配件结婚这就会经过三线搞话的别莫他把心都在。 那我到研究院，我从都弄点把呀，大概的多少，大概是啦，我来这边了，对从上街工地的了嘛，我这些人上研究，研究把那边这些就研究嘛，结果检查到或者在当香港的这些参数上不检查我的了。香港都是说话大约的，老说很多那边早就的那到我。 去当这些别往人多说，经济嘛个工作干做上经济后来的，经济做了些接着谁了车子罗嘛那边买货，嘛那边买货，嘛那边买货，嘛那边买货。 Oh, money be me ho, 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 oh, money be me, oh, money be me ho, 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 oh, money be me, oh, money be me ho, oh, money be me ho, money be me ho, oh, money be me ho, oh, money be me ho, oh, money be me. Oh, money be me ho, 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 oh, money be me. Oh, money be me ho, 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 oh, money be me. Oh, money be me ho, 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 oh, money be me. Oh, money be me ho, 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 oh, money be me. Oh, money be me ho, 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 oh, money be me. Oh, money be me ho, 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 oh, money be me. Oh, money be me ho, 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 oh, money be me. Oh, money be me ho, oh, money be me ho, oh, money be me ho, oh, money be me. Oh, money be me ho, 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 oh, money be me. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Om Mani Om mani padme hum, 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 om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum, 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 om mani Om mani padme hum, 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 om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum, om mani padme hum, om mani padme hum, om mani padme hum, om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum, enge wan le nyo lo lan che le se wan lo yo le lo wa ji ja ma le ti sa lang ge ba yo.
Is it working? So today, so mainly we have Taisi Rinpoche and others who have requested the Ocean of Victorious Ones, the deity of compassion, Avalokiteshvara. So in Tantra we have the Kriya, Charya, Yoga and Anuttara Yoga Tantra. So of these four, the practice of Avalokiteshvara can be done in accordance with any of these four tantras. And so Gyatso, this particular initiation that we are going to do of Avalokiteshvara is the Ocean of Victorious Ones, which is in accordance with the highest Yoga Tantra. And so Taisi Rinpoche has taken the initiative to request this initiation of the Jinasagara. So Avalokiteshvara basically is the supreme deity of compassion, and as it is a practice related to the highest Yoga Tantra, the Avalokiteshvara is someone who is praised by all Buddhas and who embodies all excellent qualities. And he is conferred the name Avalokiteshvara. So I pay homage to him. And so, since Avalokiteshvara, as the prayer says, the prayer in which it says his 1,000 arms represent the 1,000 Chakravartins, the universal monarchs, and so forth. Avalokiteshvara is the embodiment of all, compassion of all the Buddhas, and therefore his compassion, nobody is spared from his compassion. And so, in accordance with the highest Yoga Tantra, this Jinasagara empowerment of Avalokiteshvara is in accordance with the highest Yoga Tantra. So, before beginning this Avalokiteshvara initiation, I have been also requested the teaching on the songs of experience, or condensed points of the stages of the path. So, as usual, we'll do the Heart Sutra first. Please recite.
Babajeres Vanjula Tige Mezori, Kanala Shera, Palo Dojamba, Same Japan Japan Devali, Shida Lavanja, Tige Mevada, Saju Samba Zamba, Babajeres Vanjuki, Sidan Damba Shara Dode, Tige Mezo Cheripu, Hari, Buhari, Pumo, Kalala Shera, Palo Dojamba, Same Japan Japan Devali, Didanamba Davaja, Pumbo, Avadilla. Dongban Bayan Daba Jisu Dao So Dongba Dongbani Su Sule Dongbani Xiameji Dongbani Leja Suja Maye No Deshin Doso Wada Duje Dao Namba Jifan Dongba Jereba Lida Jelamje Dongbani De Chenyi Meba Majeba Magaba Jima Meba Jima Da Jima Meba Kawa Meba Wo Jereba Dongbani La Sumi Zowa Me Duje Me Naba Jiba Me Mingme Naba Me Nami Jeme Lime Yeme Sumi Dame Deme Lome Semido Megi Vale Yegame, Nabaji Komji Paduya Medo, Mariba Me Mariba Seba Me Kajebe Paduya, Tijindo Dunga Vatan Kujuada, Govada, Lame Medobabe, Madobaya Medo, Shalebo, Tedavena, Chanjo Sembana, Towa Mebe, Shela Di Palo, Sembala, Tenji, Semla, Tava Medicine, Lola, Shindu, Ele, David Arjuno, Nabaji, Sanja, Tamje, Shela, Palo, Sembala, then Lana Meba, Yanda, Vazo, Janjo, Obazo, Sai. Tedavena Shiraji, Palo de Simbenga, Ripa Simbenga, Ala Mebenga, Minyamboda Nebenga, Tungadam, Rodo Shivaji, Mizumena Debashi Vasha, Shiraji, Palo to Simbenga, Mevantehanda, Kade, Paragade, Parazanga, Bodi, Zo, Vajaribu, Chanju Sambas, Tedashiraji, Palo to Jimba Samula, Lava Jaho, Denazum, the thing is in. Chanju Sambas, Baba Jeres, Vajula, Leso, Javazina, Leso, Regi, Dede Jinde Shida Juji Damba Shindo Shirabji Parudo Shimba Samola Chapa Sade de Shinshiva Namja Jizui Rangotum Dede Yedegaji Gazane Zandaba Shara Dote Buddha Sanju Simba Samba Pova Jeres Wanjuda Tamde and Devi Goan Dala Lamida Lama Inda Tizajevi Sumden Deji Sumba Langan Bande
Da. Loving to do. Chiksharo
So, as it was requested to teach the songs of experience or the condensed points of the songs of the stages of the path, I'll first do it. Venerable Teshila is informing His Holiness about the Mandala offering. So first, please make the Mandala offering. So, the foundation is quite pure and the ground is of gold. The boundary is a ring of iron mountains encircling this. Vedeha, to the south Chamara and Apara Chamara, to the west Shata and Uttara Mantrina, to the north Gura and Gaurav. And here the Mount Jewel Mountains, the wish tree, the bountiful cow, the spontaneous harvest, the precious wheel, the precious jewel, the precious queen, the precious minister, the precious elephant, the marvelous and precious horse, the precious general, and the vase and of great wealth. And then the ladies of offering, ladies of charm, lady of garland, lady of song, lady of dance, lady of flowers, lady of incense, lady of lamp, lady of perfume. Here, the sun and the moon. Here, the jeweled canopy and the banner of universal victory. In the center is all the bountiful wealth of goods, gods and men. All these pleasing offerings, pure, perfect, and complete, we offer to you, the gracious root guru, together with all the glorious and sacred teachers of the lineage. In particular, we offer this pure ram to you, complete master of the doctrine, refuge and protector, lord of the conquerors, omniscient and all-seeing one, glorious and noble, that from your lips we may receive these profound Mahayana teachings. Accept it with compassion for the sake of all beings, and accepting it, grant your blessings, we pray. The ground is purified with scented water and strewn with flowers. It is adorned with swim with the four continents and the sun and the moon. Thinking of it as a blessed Buddha filled, we offer it. May all the beings enjoy the happiness of the perfectly pure Buddha filled. In the Guru Ratna Mandala Kamni. So, Siddha Rinpoche and I have been very good friends for a long time, and he has been always unflinching in his devotion and sincerity to me. So thank you. So, since there's been a request for the concise stages of the path, Tsongkhapa has written the great stages of the path to enlightenment, and then the middle length stages of the path to enlightenment, and then the very short stages of the path to in enlightenment. So this text. So Tsongkhapa wrote the stages of the path treatises, texts based on Master Atisha's lamp for the path to enlightenment. So first there is homage to Manjushri, saying Namo Guru Manju Bhushaya. And then it says, your body is created from the blind perfect factors of goodness. Your speech satisfies the yearning of countless sentient beings. Your mind perceives all objects of knowledge exactly as they are. And so it praises the Buddha in connection with his speech, body, and then the mind which sees everything as it is. And so with regard to the first line, the body, your body is created from a billion perfect factors. So in order to achieve such a Buddha body, we need to create and accumulate innumerable merits and wisdom. And so here the praise to the Buddha is done from the point of view of an excellent body. And then the speech of the Buddha is such that it fulfills the yearnings or desires of all sentient beings. Of course, there are many different founders of different religious traditions who have been beneficial to their followers and disciples. But if we compare those teachings of other teachers with the teaching of the Buddha, as we say it in Tibetan, the turquoise must be compared and to test, and then the horse must be hit with a whip to see its galloping strength and so forth. And so, with regard to the teaching of the Buddha, we find that it's not only based on faith alone, but it is based on reasoning. And so the speech satisfies the yearnings of countless sentient beings, means that it is a speech, or the word of the Buddha is something which can be put to the test of reasoning. And therefore, the followers of the Buddha, mainly the great masters of Nalanda monastic institutions, such as Master Nagarjuna, have emphasized how important it is to check and examine the teaching of the Buddha through logic and reason. And then masters like Naka and Dharmakirti have established the basis, the path, and the result of the teaching of the Buddha through reasoning and logic. And therefore, even today, we can demonstrate the truth of the teaching of the Buddha through not only with faith, but with reason and logic. So even a non-believer of a religion pays attention to this kind of a tradition where you use logic and reason and to explain a certain teaching. And therefore, the teaching of the Buddha, the words of the Buddha is filled with reason and logic, and then it also fulfills the wishes of all types of beings of small mental and spiritual capacity, intermediate capacity, and the great capacity. And therefore, this is because of the mind which perceives all objects of knowledge. And therefore it says, your mind perceives all objects of knowledge exactly as they are. So because of this, you have the perfect speech of a Buddha. And let's see this blessing for the tea. So the blessing, this one verse, the first verse from this text was used. So instead of saying, I bow my head to you, O chief of the Shakyans, we say, I offer this to you, O chief of Shakya clan. So I already had a very heavy breakfast. I'm already full, but still I will have this bread and tea. So, with regard to the Buddha, who is an unmatched teacher, which is true, in fact, there are many different religious traditions in the world, and all of them are very beneficial to their own followers. And in India, there is the tradition of respecting all religious traditions, so which is very important, and it's very good tradition. So, of course, I am a Buddhist monk, a bhikshu, and having studied the texts of logic and epistemology, for example, in the case of Buddhist philosophical schools, there is the Chittamatra, the mind-only school, and mind-only school asserts that of the non-duality of subject and object. But we can still put that to the test of reasoning and find faults in it, this kind of assertion. And today, even scientists admire the presentation and explanation of Buddhism through reason, and then particularly with regards to psychology or the understanding of mind and emotions. Of course, it is taught in Indian traditions. The non-Buddhist traditions also teach it, but the Buddhism has a very deep and profound and vast explanation of the mind and emotions. So as children in the monastic institutions, the monastic study what is known as a study of mind and awareness. And within the mind and awareness, we have the 51, what are known as 51 mental factors. And so, teaching of the Buddha, and particularly the Sanskrit tradition, emphasizes examining the teachings thoroughly. So I have studied the collected topics, the primer, logic primer, in the study of Buddhist logic, and also study of mind and study of logic and reasoning, and then also the study of Panchaparamita texts, as well as Madhyamaka, the middle way philosophy. And then when I was sitting for the Geshe examination, in the morning, the examinations were done with regards to, in connection with the study of Prajnaparamita and Madhyamaka, and then in the afternoon, in the evening session, we have the debate was done on Abhidhamma and Vinaya. So I had not paid much attention to the study of Abhidhamma Kosha Karika. But it is very important for us to study the classic texts, the great treatises of the Indian masters, for understanding the Buddha Dharma, the general structure. And I have memorized some of these classic texts and also recited whatever I had memorized in front of my tutors. Particularly, and then as a child, I wasn't much interested in my studies, but as I grew up, I found how important these texts are. The study of the Panchaparamita and the Madhyamaka philosophy, how important they are. When we practice the Buddha Dharma, the Nalanda tradition of Buddha Dharma, we have to do it through the profound teaching, which is the means emptiness, and in connection with that, then we, based on that, we practice that of the Bodhichitta, which is to say, to equal and exchange oneself with others. And then Je Rinpoche, Tsongkhapa, in his praise to Buddha, to the Buddha for teaching dependent arising, says that I have become a renunciant follower of the Buddha. So, as students of Buddhist philosophy, the Tibetans can be called the ones who follow the Buddha Dharma based on reason. So, of course, we meet with different religious traditions in India, and so as that of the system of debate, the tradition of debate is very important. We have these big monasteries in South India, Sera Depunga, then Tashi Limpo, who gather at times. They have been established in South India, and then in the beginning, when we became exiles, we requested Pandit Nehru to have a separate schools for to have separate schools for Tibetan children. So it seems the Tibetan king Songtsen Gampo was very clever, an intelligent person, though he was married to a Chinese princess. When it came to Tibetan identity, he thought of devising a new Tibetan writing system. So since we have our own writing system, so in the 8th century, because the Tibetan writing system was already devised in the 7th century, when Master Shandarakshita from the Nalanda monastic institution came to Tibet in the 8th century, during the time of King Songtsen Gampo, he advised Tibetans to translate the Indian classic texts and the Buddhist literature into Tibetan, and therefore advised Tibetans to study Buddha Dharma through in their own language. And so translations were carried out at that time, and therefore we have today over 300 volumes of Gangyur and Tengyur. Gangyur, the translated words of the Buddhas, and Tengyur, the translated treatises of Indian masters. And then these texts are not just to be left in the altar, displayed in the altar, but we should use them to study. And then Tibetans, therefore, have written commentaries and sub-commentaries to these texts. And today we have over 10,000 volumes of Indian, Tibetan masters' writings on Buddha Dharma. And so this is something marvelous. And so, since we have a profound tradition of Buddha Dharma, the Chinese government has done whatever it could to restrict the practice of the Dharma, but they have not been successful. Because the tradition, the philosophical tradition that we have is much more profound than the communism that China practices. So we have followed a democratic system as well in our preservation and promotion of the Buddha Dharma. And so our faith is unflinching. And so with regards to Buddha Dharma, the Buddha Dharma that we have as Tibetans is something that is admired by everyone, so many people in the world. So I had a meeting with my personal doctors, as I usually do. They come to see me on Mondays, and we had they did a check of my urine, and I jokingly told, so I said, Lama Tundu ki ho ho. So, to the Tibetan doctor. So the Tibetan tradition is something which is vast, deep, and profound, and it can also be go together with modern education, modern science. And we, of course, are living as refugees, exiles. And we are supported by the Indian government. And regarding myself, I have been an Indian guest of the Indian government. And so we have many different people from different countries also joining our monastic institutions in South India and so forth. So we have these Buddha Dharma centers.
So in
the past, Buddhism in Tibet was referred to as Lamaism, as if the Lamas can do anything they like. But today, people understand, are aware that the Buddha Dharma that we have is based on reason, and that it can go on par with science, modern science. And so, in India, there's tradition of secularism, and also there are those who follow the religions. So even if you may not be a religious person, you can still learn about psychology, the workings of mind, and emotions. So we have such a tradition. So some time ago, I had a meeting with students, school children, and we had talked about the importance of studying study of mind and awareness and so forth. So today, we have monks and nuns here, led by Taisido Rinpoche, and also since we are going to do the Jinasagara Avalokiteshvara initiation, before that we will do the teaching. So have you finished your tea? If you had, then I'm left behind to finish my tea. So the students finish your tea first before the Lama. So the Rinpoche sitting next to Taisita Rinpoche was asked if his wooden cup is made of some special material, something. And so, with that, so you are the most excellent sons of such peerless teachers. You carry the burden of the enlightened activities of all conquerors. And in countless realms, you engage in ecstatic display of emanations. I pay homage to you, O Maitreya and Manjushri. And so here we are referring, this refers to the profound lineage and the extensive lineage of the stages of the path to enlightenment. The profound lineage has been passed down through Manjushri, and the extensive one through Maitreya. And then next verse is homage to Nagarjuna and Asanga. And then verse 4 is homage to the Choje, the divine being, or Divankara Shrijana. And next verse, the verse number 5, is homage to all spiritual masters. So the qualified masters of Tibetan Buddhist traditions explained the teachings, so that they are able to bring all the different aspects of the teachings together. And so you are the eye to see all the myriad collections of scriptures. And so, thanks to my spiritual gurus, like my tutors, to the fortunate ones traveling to freedom, to illuminate the excellent path, to you do this through skillful deeds, stirred forth by compassion, I pay respectful homage to you. In verse number 6, verse number 7, fulfills, since it fulfills all wishes of beings without exception, means fulfilling the temporary or short-term and the long-term goals of sentient beings. And it is not something that causes depression or despair. It is the King of Kings among all the quintessential instructions, since it gathers into its thousands of excellent rivers of treatises. It's as well the ocean of most glorious, well-uttered insights. It helps to recognize all teachings to be free of contradictions. It helps the dawning of all scriptures as pith instructions. It helps to find easily the enlightened intention of the conquerors. It helps also to guard against the abyss of grave negative deeds. So these are the four greatnesses of Lamrim, that stages the path to enlightenment. And then verse number 11, the root of creating well the auspicious conditions for all the excellences of this and future lives is to rely properly with effort, both in thought and action, upon the sublime spiritual mentor who reveals their path. And so this is true even in the case of school teachers. If a teacher is a very good teacher who cares about the welfare of the students also admire that teacher more. Whereas a teacher who wishes to pass their time just looking for their salary, it may not be that effective to this. He or she may not be that effective to the students. And then seeing this, we would never forsake him, even at the cost of our life, and please him with the offering of implementing his words. And then Je Rinpoche says, I, a yogi, have practiced in this manner. You who aspire for liberation too should do likewise. And so when we do the prayer, when we use this text for prayer, for our own prayer, we say, I you, the teacher master, have practiced in this way. I, the one who aspires to liberation, will do likewise. So then, so verse number 19. So verse number 17 says, until we have obtained the most qualified form to pursue the excellent path. So as Tibetans, I think we have attained such a human form, which is excellent for practicing the Dharma. And then verse number 19, with number 19 starts that of the path of the beings of intermediate scope or capacity. So what disturbs our mind, peace of mind, is our mental afflictions, the destructive emotions. And so, from the quarrels amongst ourselves up to the battles and wars between countries, and they are caused by our negative emotions of attachment and anger or hatred. So when our mind is, when we remain undisciplined in our mind, then we are overcome with this attachment and anger, and because of that we create karmas, actions, and which brings us suffering. And therefore, instead of causing ourselves disturbance, if we can develop a peace of mind, a mind which is equanimous, neutral and peaceful, serene, then it will bring, it will cause serenity and peace in the environment that we live in. So it's vital to seek the true renunciation of disenchantment with existence and to recognize which factors chain us in cyclic existence. I, a yogi, have practiced in this manner. You who aspire for liberation too should do likewise. So have you heard this story about a child? So when a child's milk teeth falls off, we make this prayer after breaking the teeth that had fallen off and crushing them, and we throw them in the sky and say, may the child not have teeth of a horse, hit like a horse or donkey, but may the child have new teeth, which is like the auspicious teeth of a new lamb. So I have never lost any of my teeth since my... so all the teeth that I have are intact. So on the one hand, when I think of it, in Tibet, if we were still in Tibet, we won't have much broader view of what's going around us. But after coming into exile, we are able to see many different people around the world. And then today we have in this age of communication, we are able to exchange our views with other people through the internet. And so, if these teeth were still in Tibet, I would be eating Tibetan roasted barley, but since I'm coming to exile, I'm able to enjoy different savory food, Indian, Chinese, and so forth. So there are people who who take interest in the teaching of the Buddha, although they may not have any interest in religion as such. And then, with regard to the explanation of mind and emotions, the workings of mind or the system of mind and emotions, there is nothing greater than the Buddha Dharma, which explains all these in great detail. So Apapand, who was the governor or chief minister of Sikkim in those days, in the 60s, when I first came to exile, he once came to see me in Dharamsala after I had moved here and was staying at Swarg Ashram. He came to see me and said, "It's very good that Your Holiness, is staying here, and from this place you'll be able to, the light of your words will spread throughout the world." And so this has been like a prophecy. And so people around the world pay attention to my words. And then even in China, there's an increasing number of people who are listening to my talks and teachings and so forth. So when I first went to the United States of America, I met with some of the Congress representatives, and one of the persons spoke and said, the Dalai Lama is a one person, and China has millions of PLA soldiers, but still they are not able to outdo the Dalai Lama. So the Chinese communism is declining, but regarding Tibetan Buddhist tradition, even scientists there's an increasing interest amongst the scientists in the Buddha Dharma. So when I think back like this, if I were still in Tibet, I may not be able to help serve so many people and sentient beings like I do now. And then I have already retired from the political responsibility and authority, and we have the political leaders, elected political leaders in our Central Tibetan administration. And so I am taking care the responsibility of the spiritual and religious aspects. So there are people who listen to my, take interest and listen to my talks and teachings. And as I said before, there are increasing number of Chinese also doing that. So then the service of the Dalai Lama is by using my speech. I do not need to be physically there in different places because of modern technology. I, the Dalai Lama, or Lama Dendrup, born in Amdo, from Amdo, can sit comfortably here in Dharamsala, but my speech, my teachings can reach around the world, in Tibet and China proper. And so because there are many people who are devoted to me and have this faith and admiration to me and listen to my teachings, I also put them under my in my visualization. I also keep them. And so since this is teaching, the initiation that we are going to do is of Avalokiteshvara Jinasagara, it also is befitting to do that for them. Generating the mind is the central axle to the supreme vehicle path. It's the foundation and the support of all expansive deeds. To all instances of two accumulations, it is like the elixir of gold. It's the treasury of merits containing myriad collection of virtues. Recognizing these truths of heroic bodhisattvas uphold the precious supreme mind as the heart of the practice. And so right from the beginning of my day, as soon as I wake up, I think of Bodhichitta, the spirit of enlightenment. We're wishing to become a Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. And this helps one to fulfill one's temporary, short-term as well as lasting goals. And then I, a yogi, have practiced in this manner. You who aspire for liberation too should do likewise. Verse number 22 done. And then next comes the practices of the perfections, beginning with the perfection of giving. Verse number 23. So giving is wish-granting jewel that satisfies the wishes of all beings. It's the best weapon to cut the constricting knots of miserliness. It's an undaunted deed of the Bodhisattvas, giving birth to courage. It's the basis to proclaim one's fame throughout all 10 directions. Knowing this, the learned one seeks the excellent path of giving away entirely their body, wealth, and virtue. I, a yogi, practicing, you who aspire to liberation should do likewise. And then morality is the water that washes off the stains of ill deeds. It's the cooling moonlight dispelling the burning agony of afflictions. In the midst of people, it is the most majestic, like Mount Meru. It draws together all beings without any display of force. So these are very true. Knowing this, the sublime ones guard as if they were their eyes. God, the perfect disciplines which they have chosen to adopt. I, a yogi, have practiced in this manner. You who aspire for liberation too should do likewise. And then comes forbearance. And then verse number 29 shows that of the perfection of perseverance or joyous effort. And then verse number 31, that of the perfection of concentration. And so mere concentration is even developed by non-Buddhist practitioners, which does not do away with the root of samsara, this kind of unceasing birth and death existence. And next, verse number 33 is the perfection of wisdom. Wisdom is the eye that sees the profound suchness, or the truth as it is. It's the path eradicating the cyclic existence from its very root. It's the treasury of higher qualities that are praised in all scriptures. It's known as the supreme lamp, dispelling the darkness of delusion. So these verses from the Madhyamaka Avatara I recite every day.
그것은 소양 가고 제주고 강보제고 되는 제고 강보 누드는 게요 그 수도 제여인데 자서 바로 초동로 전에 오원주의 책이 아니라
So these verses which show the four logical absurdities to those who assert some kind of an objective independent existence in things.
지금은 책이 너버디 아니 소소 지금 명통을 리조를 쳐야되기도.
So I practice the meaning of this emptiness, the teaching of emptiness, and I feel that So I also feel that I will be, aspire to reach the path of seeing and beyond by thinking along these lines from the Madhyamaka Avatara. And though I may not have that experience yet, I still aspire to reach the goal. And I feel that, as Madhyamaka Chandrakirti says, that even if someone will learn it, if they lacked the experience from the past life, if they have not habituated with this profound view, they may not have the insight into it. But I feel that I may be able to have some taste of it, that profound view. So the text was read through, and the colophon says, this brief presentation of the practice of the stages of the path to enlightenment written in the format of a memorandum was composed by the well-read monk, the renunciate Losang Thakpa at the great mountain retreat of Garden number Gyeweling. And His Holiness read the verses at the end of the 6th chapter of Madhyamaka Avatara, the 3 final verses. And that's where he comments that he may be having some kind of a taste of the path of seeing and so forth. If you have to go to the restroom, please do so while I do the preparation for the initiation.
O mani beme 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 Om mani padme hum. 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 Om mani padme Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme Om mani padme hum. 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 Om mani padme Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme
Om mani padme Om mani padme Om mani padme
Om mani padme Om mani padme Om mani padme
Om mani padme
Om mani padme Om mani padme Om mani padme Om mani padme
Please recite the Mani mantra.
Om mani padme 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 Om mani Om mani padme 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 Om mani Om mani padme 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 Om mani Om mani padme 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 Om mani Om mani padme 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 Om mani Om mani padme 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 Om mani Om mani padme Om mani padme Om mani padme Om mani padme Om mani Om mani padme 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 Om Male Bimeo, Om Male Bimeo, Om Male Bimeo, Om Male Bimeo, Om Male Bimeo. Om Mani Bimeo, 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 Om Mani Bimeo. Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo. Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo. Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo. Om Mani Bimeo, 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 Om Mani Bimeo. Om Mani Bimeo, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Bimeo, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Bimeo, 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 Om Mani Bimeo. Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Om Mani Bimeo, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Bimeo, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Bimeo, 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 Om Mani Bimeo. Om Mani Bimeo, 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 Ahane Bimeo, Ahane Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo. Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Om Mani Bimeo, 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 Om Mani Bimeo. Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Om Mani Bimeo, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Bimeo, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Bimeo, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Bimeo, 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 Om Mani Bimeo. Om Mani Bimeo, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Bimeo, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Bimeo, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Bimeo, 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 Om Mani Bimeo. Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Om Mani Bimeo, 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 Om Mani Bimeo. Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Om Mani Bimeo, 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 Ane Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo. Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo. Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Bimeo, Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum, Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani. Om mani padme hum. 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 Om mani padme. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani. Om mani padme hum. 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 Om mani padme. Om mani padme hum. 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 Om mani padme. Om mani padme hum. 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 Om mani padme. Om mani padme hum. 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 Om mani. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme. Om mani padme hum. 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 Om mani. Om mani padme hum. 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 Om mani padme. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme. Om mani padme hum. 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 Om mani. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme. Om mani padme hum. 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 Om mani. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani. Om mani padme hum. 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 Om mani. Om mani padme hum. 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 Om mani. Om mani padme hum. 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 Om mani. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani. Om mani padme hum. 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 Om mani. Om mani padme hum. 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 Om mani. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani. Om mani padme hum. 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 Om mani padme. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme. Om mani padme hum. 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 Om mani. Om mani padme hum. 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 Om mani. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme. Om mani padme hum. 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 Om mani padme. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani. Om mani padme hum. 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 Om mani. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani. Om mani padme hum. 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 Om mani padme. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum.
다 도셔. 야. 다 계속 지송. 지송. 다 전화 거도 그냥 얘기 만한 게 조여셔서 야수십에 줄 도로스 된지셔다 지도도 와서 안 넣었는데 이거 다 왕게 사고 남주는 시절에 당연히 된다. 라라상아 주도니 되는 건지고 손을 대배는 신사지. 지대파를 되냐면 대법만도 접어요. 론대지고 주저요. 천재적으로 대배에 세대되고 지대파를.
So it begins with by saying some enter the mandala seeking to achieve mantra for the sake of this life. Others wish for others think what's beyond this world. The intelligent should enter the mandala with main acts of faith that seek the aim of what transcends this world. So which means that lasting happiness. And with that kind of motivation and intention, you should receive the initiation, the empowerment. So for this life alone, you don't need this kind of deity yoga practice. And so, in order for you to be able to be taken care of by Avalokiteshvara from life after life, you should be intent to bring benefits to sentient beings by teaching them about the Bodhichitta, which is brought about by love, loving affection, compassion, and creating this kind of these positive imprints in their life, then bring them ultimately to the state of Avalokiteshvara, ultimately Avalokiteshvara, for the benefit of all sentient beings. So by these sentient beings you help would be able to follow, be taken care of by Avalokiteshvara life after life, and they should not wish for effects in this life. The ones wishing for the effects in this life do not find meaning in that which transcends the world. The one seeking what transcends the world gains extensive results in this life as well. And then rays of light radiate out from the seat set at the heart of the Guru, the Lama, who is inseparable from the principal deity and in union with the consort. So principal deity in the Mandala. And draw you one by one into this, in his mouth, and so forth. The mandala offering. Please repeat. So this is the great joy and so forth. So please let me into the city of great liberation. So this is brought about by Bodhichitta, the spirit of enlightenment. So in order to fulfill one's own goal, as well as the goal of helping others, as well as temporary goals of this life, and ultimately to benefit all sentient beings, until the end, the space come to an end. This is done through with the help of Bodhichitta. So it says, "O great joy, you are alone as my teacher. And, O great protector, I am seeking the firm ways of the great enlightenment. Please bestow on me the pledges. Please confer on me the vows of Bodhichitta too. And please grant me the threefold refuge of Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. O protector, please let me enter into the supreme city of enlightenment." And then the master calls on the disciples, "Come here, my child. I'll thoroughly teach you the right of conduct. For the sacred mantra of the universal vehicle, you are a vessel of great way." And so I take Bodhisattva vows every day and have experienced peace of mind, and that also helps my health as well. And so you are taking the tantric initiation from me, your master, and so in accordance with my conduct and my practice, you should also follow suit. Please take the Bodhisattva. Repeat this. I take refuge in the three jewels. I individually disclose all non-virtues, rejoice in the virtues of all beings, and mentally take up the enlightenment of Buddhahood. So we'll do it. Please repeat for the second time. I take refuge in the three jewels, individually disclose all my virtues, rejoice in the virtues of all beings, and mentally take up the enlightenment of Buddha. I take refuge in the three jewels, individually disclose all non-virtues, rejoice in the virtues of all beings, and mentally take up the enlightenment of a Buddha. So maybe we'll say the whole text. Until I'm enlightened, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Supreme Assembly. I generate the spirit of enlightenment, and to fully attain my own and others' welfare. Having generated the spirit of supreme enlightenment, I invite all sentient beings as my guests. Engage in the supreme and wonderful conduct of Bodhisattvas. May I attain Buddhahood to benefit all sentient beings. So then the master asks you to repeat the following request 3 times to receive tantric vows. So I also take tantric vows every day, and please repeat these lines. Please grant me the irrevocable. O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, please pay attention to me. From now on until I'm reach enlightenment, the essence of enlightenment, I say your name in the same way as the protector of say your secret name, tantric name, and as protector 3 times, generate the unsurpassed excellent mind of enlightenment, spirit of enlightenment that definitely sets one to the state of enlightenment. I shall firmly observe the 3 kinds of ethical disciplines, keep the restraint, the discipline of restraint, accumulating virtues, and working for the sentient beings. From now on, I will take the vows of the unequal 3 jewels, Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, that derive from the yoga of the Buddha. I shall perfectly keep the Vajra belt and mudra of the great Vajra vehicle family, and uphold the Vajra master too. So you can repeat this for the second time. When you say I, you say I, Akshobhya, Vajra. For the remarkable and pure lotus lineage. From now on, I'll take the vows of the unequal 3 jewels, Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha that derive from the yoga of the Buddha. I shall perfectly keep the Vajra belt and mudra of the great and supreme Vajra vehicle, and uphold my Vajra master too. As the wonderful, so say it for the 3rd time now. Please repeat these lines. And at the end of the third repetition, when you say, and lead all sentient beings to nirvana, feel convinced that you receive the tantric vows. As for the Mandala Samaya of the great supreme lineage, I shall engage in the 4 kinds of giving 6 times a day for the remarkable pure lotus family that has risen from great enlightenment. I shall guard the outer sacred teachings and the 3 vehicles and their respective dharma. For the great supreme karma family, I shall perfectly adhere to all the vows and make offerings as best I can. I shall cultivate the excellent and unsurpassed spirit of enlightenment and completely abide by the vows for the benefit of all sentient beings. Beings who are not yet rescued, I will save. Beings who are not those who are not yet freed, I will release. Those who are not relieved, I shall give relief to ones who are unable to breathe and lead sentient beings to nirvana. And then visualize these 3 syllables at your heart, throat, and your forehead. And this blesses with Lama reciting these and touching your 3 letters, your 3 places, heart, throat, and forehead. He blesses you, body, speech, and mind. So while holding the Vajra, Lama applies with his right hand, drops scented with water in an ascending order to first the heart, then to the throat, and then to the crown, reciting Hum Om. With this you receive the blessing. The Lama meditates that you have arisen as the principal deity with your 3 places marked by the 3 letters Om Ah Hum, and that you are now worthy recipient of offerings. He offers flowers to your head, lamps and incense in front of you, and perfume to your heart, while reciting offering mantras. So this is incense. And next is throwing the stick, the neem stick, and
Om Beza Hasaha.
Please repeat Om Beza Hasaha. So the tip of the stick pointed towards the Lama, which indicates supreme spiritual feat. And next is giving the handful of water. So from the syllable Bam, water rises, and Lama recites the all-purpose action mantra 7 times. And he recites the mantra Om Shri Visuddha Sarva Dharma Sarva Papam Nicha Asaya Shodaya Sarva Bika Vikalpam Apanaya Hum, and gives you 3 handfuls of this water to drink. While drinking it, think that all your faults of body, speech, and mind, and all your conceptions have been removed. And then from the hum, the long gray chakras arises, which is to be placed under your ventris, and Lama recites all-purpose action mantra. From the syllable D, a short kusha grass arises, that is to be placed on, and it is given to you to be placed under your pillow, and Lama recites again all-purpose action mantra. And then the mantra Om Benza Dikshan Bhum, the Lama gives you the longer and the shorter between your folded hands, so that you'll not be confused about your auspicious dream you may have tonight. And then next is giving the protection string. So from the syllable home arises a red string. So these two sides of grass, the kusha grass, are to be, the longer one is for your mattress, to go under your mattress, and then the shorter one to go under your pillow tonight. And then so from the syllable home arises a red string that equals the length of your body and is wound 3 times. And the Lama recites all-purpose action mantra and ties 3 or 6 knots to the string. He then recites the mantra Om Buddha Meti Raksha Raksha Swaha. And then next is generating joy in the mind of these disciples. Like an Udavara flower, the omniscient one appears only occasionally in the world, and at times they do not appear. So you can see the Buddha Dharma has not spread the whole world, and only few countries in the world are Buddhist countries. And the Buddha, Shakyamuni, became enlightened many, many eons ago. And then the Buddhas appear in this world only occasionally, and at times they do not appear. But the arising of the ways of sacred mantra is even much rarer than that. Through it, the unequaled welfare of sentient beings can be accomplished without personal weight. Even non-virtue created before, over tens of millions of eons, are entirely removed when seeing such a mandala. So, what need is there to speak of dwelling in the practice of endlessly renowned ways of mantra? Through reciting the sacred mantra of the protection and surpassed state will be attained. The ones whose awareness is utterly undefiled in their sublime contact thoroughly overcome the lower realms, from where all sufferings arise. Today, you great beings achieved the unparalleled achievement. As you are completely held by these teachings of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, the great beings as well, you will arise in at that state. You will take excellent birth in the great universal vehicle. And through proceeding on this great vehicle, glorious and sublime paths, you will become a Tathagata. So with this, we are done with the preliminary process of the initiation of Gyawajatso Jinasagara. So I do my best to practice the bodhicitta and the profound view of emptiness on a daily basis. And so tonight when you go to bed, put the longer grass, kusha grass, under your mattress, and then the shorter one under your pillow, and check your dream. So with regard to myself as the Lama, I have deep sleep, and therefore I do not have dreams. So there's no way I can check my dreams. So the dream that you have to check should be the dream at the time of the dawn, just before daybreak. And so that dream must be checked. So that is about checking the dream. So with this, we are done with the Jinasagara, Avalokiteshvara, the great compassionate one, empowerment. So we'll meet tomorrow. So we'll meet tomorrow again. So today we have done the preliminary process of the Jinasagara initiation. Though there are many different initiations of Avalokiteshvara, this one, Jinasagara, Avalokiteshvara Jinasagara, is in accordance with the highest yoga tantra. So of the four tantras, Kriya, Charya, Yoga, and Anuttara Yoga tantras, this is the Anuttara Yoga tantra. And so, place the longer grass, kusha grass under your mattress, and the shorter one under your pillow. Lie down in the lying position facing the east, and your sleep should not be interrupted by discursive thoughts, preconceptions of any kind. And then you need to examine your dream that you have during the final quarter of the night. This is a long life prayer of His Holiness, written by his two tutors. Words of truth written by His Holiness. Sorry. The prayer of true words. Namo Ratnatrayaya, homage to the three jewels. You whose glory is an ocean of immeasurable qualities, and who look upon poor beings as if they were your only child, Sugatas of past, present, future, Bodhisattvas, and your disciples, pray heed these lamentations of truth. May the entire teaching of the Buddha, which dispel all the torments of existence and peace, spread to benefit the whole wide world with help and happiness. May those who uphold them, scholars and practitioners, flourish in this practice of the 10 activities of the Dharma. Utterly oppressed by the intolerable intensity of their negative actions, deprived beings are tortured by interminable suffering, pacified their unbearable disease, wars, and famines, and bring them the succor and of infinite joy and well-being. In particular, the people of Tibet, inheritors of the Dharma, are being destroyed by the many evils of a barbarian horde, malevolent and heartless, in a river of blood and tears. Arouse the forces of compassion that their torment may swiftly be stopped. Those hosts of savage oppressors, cruelly crazed by their own demonic passions, who bring ruin on both others and themselves, deserve our compassion. May they develop a complete vision of right and wrong and appreciate the benefit of loving care and friendship.